from Baxter's 942 and now worldwide on iTunes, Google Play, and now iHeartRadio. This is Shooting from the Lip Live. I'm Erik Kevin. Kevin Hale right next to me, and this is the first shot.
First shot. Happy Tuesday, my man.
Happy Tuesday to you.
Coming off this kind of weekend, it was the royal wedding.
Yeah, so you were up at 4 o'clock watching that?
I think I went to bed at 4 o'clock.
I know you stayed up and watched that.
I didn't.
Come on.
I didn't even DVR it and watch it 3 times or all that.
Really?
But I did find...
You stream it on Hulu?
I didn't do all that either. So it was the royal wedding, the Preakness, which Justify is 2/3 into the Triple Crown. What else? You gigs this past weekend?
Yeah, I played a little bit. Just around town. I don't even remember. Oh, the GOAT Friday with Skinner.
Yeah.
That was fun. Played with Amber last week.
Yeah.
That was fun.
You got a heavy...
And I'm slammed.
This coming weekend, man.
It's Memorial Day.
It is Memorial weekend.
May for musicians is December for a lot of other people. So Derby and Memorial Day, I love it.
Yeah. Tonight, man.
Dude, there's a lot.
A lot going on. So we're going to get our part out of the way. We'll get our first shot out of the way. First segment, Dustin Collins, who's a Nashville recording artist, will be with us very soon. Segment 2, Eddie Bobbitt, who is with Camp Quality Kentuckiana.
Oh, cool.
He's going to be promoting the 7th annual Poker Run benefit. Your buddy, Stewart Askew.
StewAskew.
I like that.
Yeah, he's great, man. I can't wait to be able to sit and talk to him, man. It's always in passing now.
He is right now over at Nirvana, right?
Yeah, he's doing
the stand-up comic.
Yeah, he's doing It's Funny.
Yeah, so that's cool. We'll get
looking forward to
him afterwards. Rahul Borkar will be on.
Happy birthday, Rahul.
So it is Rahul's birthday. He's going to come on. He's going to be promoting his gig that he's got coming up in June.
Gig.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
And then we're going to have like a break in between segments where we'll do our last shot and talk some miscellaneous stuff. But the last segment of the night around 10 p.m., a couple of Louisville legends.
Yeah, Carl and Chip.
Chip Adams, Carl Stuck will be joining us, and
good buddies.
We're going to talk what's going on with them musically.
Looking forward to that.
And we'll also get to talk a little full contact carry. I said it. FCK. We're going to get the scoop on what's up with that. The music scene has some questions.
So I saw you at the Diamond Concert Hall for the Revelators and Blue Funk.
Well, that was this past Saturday, and what a great gig.
Gosh,
I mean,
so good. Both bands were incredible.
You gave me a lot of history on the Revelators, which I didn't know.
Those guys, those guys taught me how to play. Lynch taught me how to play blues.
Yeah.
I didn't come from a blues background. And every Tuesday and Thursday for months, I'm up there watching him play blues. Yeah,
Blue Funk, the headline act Saturday night, which they were CD release gig.
The album it's
amazing.
Nuts.
Really good stuff.
Good.
So full show tonight. Let's go on and
looking forward to
toast our first shot to kick off the night.
Do we know what this is?
I don't.
Yeah.
I asked her. She was like, "What do you want?" And I said, "How about just give us the last shot you did?" So this is what she did last.
Okay. The first shot is the last.
It's the last shot. Yeah.
Here, cheers.
Not bad. What is that?
Oh,
you're the bartender. What's in it?
I don't know.
Anyway.
All these shots, man. You go back and listen to us every time we take it. I'm like, ugh, I'm such a baby.
That's all right.
From Baxter's 942 and worldwide on iTunes, Google Play, and iHeartRadio. This is Shooting from the Lip Live. I'm Erik Kevin. Kevin Hale right next to me, and to my right, our first guest of the evening, Mr. Dustin Collins.
Dustin, what up, brother?
What's going on, guys?
You are a busy man these days. Pinning you down has been a tough task for me, but here we are.
Yeah, man. Finally.
Nashville, is it safe to say, is hogging up a lot of your time?
It's home now.
It is home. It's officially home.
It is officially home.
And how old are you?
I'm 29.
29. Living the dream, man.
For a couple more months.
Living the dream. You've got an album, a full album coming out.
Full record.
We can talk all that, but give us real quick, people listening, watching, what is the quick Dustin Collins story?
And I'm from Bardstown, Kentucky.
Nelson County.
Nelson County, way out in the sticks. Been playing music for most of my life since I started playing guitar about 9 or 10 years old. My dad he played in bands his whole life, and he was a bass player and did a lot of work in Nashville. They cut a record back in the 90s and did a lot of stuff. So I kind of grew up in a recording studio and always just loved it. Everything about country music I've always loved guitars, man.
This album that's coming up, is the first full album?
This is the first full record.
All right, give us what's the story here? How long? How much work? All that good stuff that went into it.
Man, we did an EP last year, the She Does record, and it was like our first real studio record because the one before that we did in like my buddy's basement. You kind of rushed through it, and the whole thing, it's a learning process every time you go in there. The studio teaches you to be real honest about yourself and your abilities. Because the first time you hear yourself sing on a with the headphones on and you're like, oh my God, do you really sound like that? And then you're like, I probably need to go get some vocal lessons because this is not good. We took almost a year and a half between records, and I wrote 60 songs
Really?
to get 9. Ended up taking some cuts on this from some really great writers. Like we got Jack Williams and Troy Thompson on this record. Troy's he's wrote songs for Dierks Bentley. He's co-writes Luke Bryan and stuff. Jack is legendary. Jack wrote with Ronnie Van Zant.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a beast. Such a nice dude. I talked to him for the first time about a couple weeks ago, and I just liked him. I was like, he's just an old country fella that lives out on a farm, writes songs all day. I was like, that is where I want to be in life.
It brings up an interesting point because the whole Nashville scene, and I'm going to throw this at both of you, Eric, you being a musician as well. Nashville, as far as I know, is known for, that rigid songwriting. People go out there and spend hours together. Correct me if I'm wrong. Putting songs together, writing it. So in this case, how often is it where that a singer doesn't even know or meet a songwriter?
It kind of depends on where you're at or who you're working with. A lot of the major labels, what they'll do is, they'll contact the songwriter and they'll throw them, because you want the song to be personalized to an artist if you can do it.
Which means you want the songwriter involved in the process, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And you want the artist involved, and you want them to sit in there, whether they contribute or they're just telling their story, and then the writers take their story and make it that way. But when you get up into the big artists like Aldean and stuff like that, they got everybody pitching them.
Right. Everybody.
So they'll get hundreds and hundreds of songs, and part of their pre-production is just to sit there and listen to songs all day long and pick 10 songs out of 100 songs that they're gonna use on this record. And me, being as much as I write, as many songs that I write, I can put on my record. I'm gonna do it. But sometimes management and record labels and stuff will come down and say, "Well, you should really listen to this song again." And then when you do, and you're like, yeah, that's probably a hit. and
you have to be open to that.
Yeah, and if I don't feel like I can sing it and put myself into it, I'm not cutting the song.
Right.
But if it hits me and I feel it and feels like, man, I could have wrote that song. That's the kind of songs I like to cut.
Mm-hmm.
So down in Nashville now, what are you up to? You playing Broadway? You are you in the studio full time? Are you just making it a home base? What's going on since you've been there?
I just signed a record deal with Average Joe's Records, which is Colt Ford and Montgomery Gentry. Brantley Gilbert started out there, and these guys. It's just a creative environment and. What I'm trying to do right now is just write, hook up with as many songwriters as I can and get down there and write. We don't play a whole lot in Nashville. I lived down there before. We did the Broadway scene for a while, but I've never been one for. I don't want to play cover music anymore. I want to play my stuff.
Right.
So if we can get paid whatever to go out and play our stuff for 2 hours. I'd rather go out and play 2 hours of my stuff for free than I would go play in a venue for 4 hours, blow your voice out, and
make tips.
Make tips.
Yeah.
And I'd rather play my own stuff.
Yeah.
There you go.
And you're set to do that now with this EP, or not EP, full album.
Yeah, first one. I'm freaking pumped.
Is there a release date?
There's not a date. We have a window.
Okay. All right.
But between the 1st and mid of July is when we're trying to get this record out. The first single came out last Friday.
The Barn,
which
I got to listen to. I love the song. Great song. And your vocals, man, you're killing it on that.
A lot of vocal lessons.
Yeah. And can I go on and mention, is there a video associated with this song?
There is a video, which will debut in June.
Okay.
Which will coincide with the pre-order and us playing the CMA Music Festival.
Oh, CMA, really? Now, you're also playing here at Baxter's in June, correct?
June's a busy month. It's the first month of the pre-order, and we're at the State Theater for the Kentucky Takeover tour, which is us and Jericho
Woods, right? Yeah.
And we got Kevin Jaggers, Timmy Dunn, and Nick Jamerson. Used to be in Sunday Best before they parted ways, but that's going to be a fun show.
Why is it every segment we do, Eric seems to have, it's like 6 degrees of Jake Badger. So there's always something that just kind of filters back to Jake Badger. If you're listening, Jake, we love you. You know that. But
Jake gets in there, man. He's about it.
He's so cool. On this album, how much of it is yours? Can I ask?
There's only 2 songs on there that are cuts. The rest of them are mine.
Really?
Yeah, I've got one with Lincoln Parrish from Cage the Elephant. He
oh, no shit. Wow.
After he left Cage, he moved to Nashville. He's now a country music singer, songwriter, and producer. So we got a cut from, and I've known Lincoln from back the Tidballs days in Bowling Green when they were playing back before they went to Europe and became the biggest rock band in the world. And then we lucked into the Jack Williams and Troy Thompson cut. I was working with a guy named Eldon Huff. He's actually from Harlan. He's out of Nashville, Tennessee now. And we were working the pre-production on this new album. And he was like, hey, I got some songs for you to listen to. And he had The Barn in there, and I heard that, and I was like, that is a song I like.
It is a good song. I like it. I have to ask, and I mentioned it before you came on, but I want to get the 411 from you. Peyton Collins is this now the name on Facebook, not Dustin, because that threw me for a loop.
Okay.
What's the story there?
The music page is still Dustin Collins, all that stuff. My personal Facebook page I changed to my middle name.
Okay.
I just went through a breakup probably about...
Again, it's always comes down to a check.
It's women.
Yeah.
About
you women down there, again, not you personally, but, it's a general statement.
8-9 months ago, I went through a breakup, and, after you go through a breakup, especially you play music, I did long-term relationship, so I kind of went off the rail there for a little while. And, once I come back to and was, like, ready to pick the pieces back up again and move on and roll with my career, I just wanted to kind of have some sort of privacy online. I don't want everybody, knowing my personal stuff that I post or just, those are reserved for my friends and family. And I kind of wanted to direct all the music fans and stuff, the people that were listening to my tunes, to the music page. And when you have 2 Dustin Collins pages, they'll click on the personal page, add you up. And
that's a good point.
You can only have like X amount of people on there, right. So you got like my cousins or stuff that want to be on my Facebook page, and they can't get on there. So I had to delete a whole bunch of people and kind of make room for my family and friends, the people I actually physically know, as opposed to the people that are just trying to listen to the music and stuff, which I direct them to the actual page.
The music page. Yeah.
Dustin Collins Music.
Yeah. For all you stalkers, paparazzi, hit that page.
There's only like one in particular stalker we're trying to get rid of.
We're on to something here. Is there what makes? Can we ask what makes this stalker special?
I'd rather not answer that question at this time.
That's fair. That's a great answer. But
right.
you know,
It works for
we have to ask those kind of questions.
It works for Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg.
So we have a lot to look forward to this summer. You'll be right here at Baxter's 942 in June. The album's going to drop. The video will be released. So it's going to be a busy summer. So we're going to direct everybody to Dustin Collins Music.
On Facebook. You also have your webpage too.
Yeah, DustinCollinsMusic.com, and you can also get all of our info at AverageJoesEntertainment.com.
Yeah. And then for the upload to our iTunes, all of the podcast for this segment, we're going to add the barn.
Yeah.
At the end for all of you to listen to. Real quick, give us what was the inspiration before we let you go of the barn? What can you tell?
I didn't write it, so
right.
I can't account for it. But what inspired me?
Well, to you to do it
for me to cut the song. I'm from Bardstown.
Okay.
I'm not from the Bardstown city either. I'm from what you call the county area. If you go to iTunes or Apple Music, you anywhere music is sold, you can listen to the barn. The song's about getting it on in the barn. and if you're from the county and you ain't got it on in the barn, your parents were never home.
Exactly. The next time, next time might be the first time I do anything outside, I might have to just play that because of the whole nature feel.
Well, next time you're in a barn, you should go.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Dustin, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank y'all for having me, man.
Through the gate to park your truck out back. Put on some of that drive me wild perfume. I'll have the good stuff chilling, a side door cracked. There's a million things that we could get into in the barn, in the barn, in the barn. Come on, girl, lay your pretty head back. Just you and me in the haystacks, buzzing on kites, sipping on shine. We can do this all night. Slip on out of them jeans if you want to. Anything goes up under this tin roof. I won't tell a soul if you don't want no one to know. Cross my heart. What happens in the barn stays in the barn. This old hayloft has always been my hiding place. Girl, there ain't no way we're gonna get caught. In here, the world outside is miles away. Would you say the two of us get lost in the barn? Come on, girl, lay your pretty head back. Just you and me in the haystacks, buzzing on kites, sipping on shine. We can do this all night. Slip on out of them jeans if you want to. Anything goes under this tin roof. I won't tell a soul if you don't want no one to know. Cross my heart. In the barn we can get it real loud. In the barn we can break it on down. Your pretty head back. Just you and me in the haystacks, buzzing on kite, sipping on shine. We can do this all night. Slip on out of them jeans if you want to. Anything goes up under this tin roof. I won't tell a soul if you don't want no one to know. Cross my heart. What happens in the barn stays in the barn. In the barn, in the barn.
from Baxter's 942 and worldwide on iTunes, Google Play, and iHeartRadio. This is Shooting from the Lip live. I am Erik McEwen. I had to think about it for a second. Kevin Hale sitting right next to me.
You've been Erik McEwen.
Yeah, for 39 years. Yeah.
39.
Yeah. 40. So.
Going on 40.
Yeah. That's going to be weird. Who do we have this segment, Kevin? Mr.
Eddie Bobbitt, a good friend of mine. Eddie is with Camp Quality Kentuckiana. Eddie and I connected, it's been 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And Eddie, first of all, welcome to the show. This is one of these guys, for what he does, Erik, has carte blanche to come on, when, where, if there's something to promote, because it's all about the kids.
Absolutely.
It's all about the kids. So, Eddie, first of all, thanks for hanging with us. How are you, man?
I'm outstanding, man. Living the dream. Camp Quality Kentuckiana and with the Poker Run, we really appreciate you and Shooting from the Lip from always being there to support us and being there to support our cause and our events. We can't do it without people like you, so thanks again.
Us helping you goes without saying. This is the 7th annual Poker Run. I showed up, Erik, at the 5th annual, so 2 years ago. It was funny, Dustin Collins was I forgot about that until you brought it up, was the entertainment for that night. But this is an event that, good Lord, I was blown away with this event. This is just, tell us.
Yeah. So the Poker Run is one of our largest fundraisers every year. So what happened was a couple years ago, let me start with the format of the event. Yeah. So this year's event is June 9th. The ride takes place at American Legion Post 220. That's where we leave. That's where registration is. So
that's in Shively, right?
Correct. Yeah, 2107 Crumbs Lane. Registration will start with 8:30. And go in there, get your T-shirt, show up early. We got some limited edition like Poker Run pins that there's only 250. Typically we have 500-600 bikers. So you need to get there early to get those. But we have registration up to about 11 o'clock. At 11 o'clock we'll have announcements. What we're going to do to keep our bikers safe, the format of the event. And then after that, then kickstands go up at 11:30. And then after that, our bikers go on 3 stops. They come back, and we have a huge pig roast. You've seen it. The amount of food is absurd. And then we have a live act. And 2 years ago, unfortunately, our live act had to cancel, and we needed someone to fill in. And Dustin Collins actually stepped in for us, did a tremendous job. Yeah. So, Dustin, shout out to you again.
It might have been the first time I actually saw Dustin, too.
Yeah, he killed it. He did an awesome job. And then after that, we go into a live auction. And the live auction takes about 5 to 6 hours.
Yes.
So you name it, we got it. Sports memorabilia, vacation packages, appliances, autographed Kevin Hale pictures. You name it, we got it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll be there bidding on the Kevin Hale autograph picture because I want you to see what I'm going to do to him. So for those of you, right, if you could tell us, for those of us that don't know necessarily how a poker run works, say I have a motorcycle and I want to be a part of it. What is a poker run? Yeah,
so like I said, they show up. They take off from American Legion Post 220. This year, they'll go from there. They'll go to the Fraternal Order of the Eagles on 3501 College Drive. And then there's some hanging out. There's some live music. They'll get a card, and then they'll go to the
playing card.
Right. Then they'll go to the second stop, and that's at the Moose Lodge on Faganbush Lane. And they'll get a second card. And, of course, there's some hanging out. There's live music. There's some raffle items. And then they'll go to the VFW post on Lower Hunter's Trace. Again, get a playing card. And then they'll come back to the post. And for a lot of the riders, the stops are great. The ride, of course, is appealing. But it's the cause.
Yeah.
And Camp Quality Kentuckiana, for those who are unfamiliar of who we are, we're a year-round support program and summer camp for local children dealing with cancer. So our kids range from 5 to 16, 17, and they range when it comes to treatment. So some of our kids are survivors, and some of our kids are in active treatment. But our mission is just to let these kids be kids again, and we do year-round events, and then the Super Bowl, if you will, of the year is our week of camp, and it's coming up.
It's a week-long event.
Right.
We can go on and say, there obviously with every event, or in this case a camp, there is a cost associated with getting these kids in. So, can you say?
How much, absolutely. Yeah, we're transparent. For the week of camp, it's about $1,500. Yeah. Give or take. It just depends on programming and what we add to it. This year is Camp Derby Festival is the theme. So our friends over at KDF have inspired us. So we're trying to incorporate as many KDF events as we can. We're going to have, I can't say on record right now because we want it to be a surprise for the kids, but they're going to have a blast this year at camp.
Very cool.
Looking forward to that.
Their goals. What's the mindset this time around? Because I remember having this conversation with you 2 years ago, and you were telling me what the goal was at that point. I was like, my eyes, I remember bugged out because I thought, man, these guys are really shooting for the stars,
right?
But you delivered.
Yeah. So I've got to talk about the poker run team. We have about 30 to 35 individuals that are so dedicated. Craig Bailey is the leader of the poker run team. Yeah, Shelly's the one. Well, Craig's the leader. Shelly's really the leader. She's the one that keeps us all organized.
Wait a minute. Craig's the leader, but Shelly's really the leader.
Yeah.
That sounds like you're
We'll give Craig the title, but we all kind of know who runs the scene, and it's Shelly.
The woman behind
I love Craig, but we all know that she keeps us in line. She keeps us organized.
Yeah. Good people.
Right. Fantastic people. And Shaggy. Anyway, it just takes this massive team of people who are completely selfless, who go around the city, requesting donation items for the live auction. It's mind-blowing how many hours these people dedicate to our cause, to our kids. And, I think a couple of years ago, we raised about $40,000 for the event. And, last year.
That's what I'm doing.
Wow.
Yeah. And last year we raised $73,000 for these kids.
Great.
Yeah. So 2 years, they've hit six figures in these last 2 years.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah. And again, it's all about the kids. 100% of the proceeds goes to Camp Quality Kentuckiana and the kids.
Do you have something you're shooting for this year?
Oh, I mean, we.
You don't have to say it.
No, I'll put it out there. My mother raised me to say words are spirit. So if you want something to say good, say it. If you want something bad, say it. Oh. So I mean, the goal's 100,000. Let's go.
All right, let's do this.
So you're talking about entertainment this year. Who do we have?
Josh Bogard is playing.
Josh, one of our boys.
Yeah. And tell you about Josh last year. We talked about the 6 degrees of separation with Jake Badger. Jake Badger and I went to high school, good friend of mine, and he puts on our Country for the Kids event, which is going to be July 29th.
Yeah, we'll be heavily promoting that as well. But,
appreciate it. And then last year, Josh Bogard played
there. I think he's playing with them this year too.
So when we were looking for an act, Josh stepped up, and we're really, really excited to have him in his band. Incredible musician, and I know he's going to bring a lot to the event.
Yeah, even better person. Yeah.
Well, great luck with everything. What a great cause.
I'll be there.
So June 9th.
June 9th.
Yeah, man, you got to come hang out.
Lively Shively.
I'll be there. I'll be there, man.
Yeah.
I'm from Shively.
You have to, because I admit, when I went there, I didn't know what to expect, and I was blown away.
Nice.
And
so did you go on your tricycle?
It was 3. Yeah, I had training wheels.
Yeah, right. So. Okay, that's good. Stepping up a little bit.
Yeah, but I wore my Sons of Anarchy shirt or something. Yeah, so I looked badass.
Anything else before we say goodbye to you?
Again, I appreciate you all having us. The event, again, is June 9th. If you want more information about the event, you can go to, we have a Camp Quality event page on Facebook, 7th Annual Camp Quality Poker Run. And then if you want more information about our cause, it's campqualityusa.org/KI. We're always looking for those who want to, donate their time, treasure, or talent to support these kids. We've seen tremendous growth with Camp Quality over the last 3 or 4 years, which is unfortunate because of the demographic that we serve. But until there's a cure, there's a camp. Yeah. And, a few years ago, we had about 58 kids, and we're over 90 now, and we're still 5 weeks away from the week of camp. So,
well, again, it's June 9th, so I'll be in touch because I think this event is, I 100% support it. Mm-hmm. So hopefully the Tuesday before, which was June 5th, swing by, give us a last.
We'll get Craig and Shelly on there, maybe some of the other team members. Again, it's absolutely a team effort that puts on this event. They're incredible.
Well, I'll definitely make sure that you get the Kevin Hale headshots autographed.
I lost last year. I think it went for like $30,000.
Oh, well, damn. There you go.
Really?
Look at you. It was cheesing over there.
My mom bought it.
Yeah. But it all the money went to the kids, so it's all good.
So, Kevin, can we get all of those websites shared?
Yes, we'll post them all on the segment, all of the Facebook posts. But yeah, good stuff, Eddie.
And it is one last thing I could plug, if that's okay.
No.
So every one of our kids has a companion. So it's like a big brother, big sister.
Right, yeah.
And that's how I got started back in 2005. Random occurrence. I was working at a school supply store. A lady came in, said, I helped her out. She left. She came back and said, "You seem like you'd be good with kids. Do you have any experience?" To which I said, "No." And then she said, "Our mission is to let kids with cancer be kids again." I went that summer. It's completely changed my life.
Wow.
The reason that I share that story is we're in need of companions. So if you're listening to this podcast right now and you're over 18 years of age and can pass a background check,
It's kind of important.
Right, that's very important. But we are in search of companions. You can go to our website, apply. We need some dedicated folks to come out and share this experience with these kids.
Very cool. Eddie Bobbitt, Camp Quality Kentuckiana.
Thanks a lot for being here.
You guys rock.
And thank you for all you do for
all
the
for
kids.
the kids.
We really appreciate
Good stuff,
it.
Eddie.
Eric, your voice is amazing.
It is.
It really is.
Everybody. Yeah.
It sounds amazing.
I hit a home run with him because, for the longest
You're the
time.
first person to ever say that.
Whatever. I say it to him every week.
Good God.
From Baxter's 942 in the Highlands of Louisville, Kentucky, and worldwide on iTunes, Google Play, and iHeartRadio. This is Shooting from the Lip Live. I'm Erik Kevin. Kevin Hale right next to me, and this is a special segment for me.
Yeah.
My really good buddy, Mr. Stewart Askew, is here.
How's it going?
How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Never been better.
StewAskew. I like that.
I know. It kind of rolls off the tongue,
It does.
Yeah.
StewAskew.
So Stewart was right down the street in Nirvana getting his funny on. He's a stand-up.
Yeah.
And he decided, I just like, man, you're in town, you're here. Come on in, we're gonna chat about some stuff too. Because if you haven't seen this guy live, the dude is funny.
I'm occasionally funny.
Occasionally.
I toot my own horn.
Maybe we can get the leftovers. Were you able to, like, during your set over at Nirvana, did you get all of your?
I might have a little bit of funny left.
Okay,
All
we'll
right.
see. We'll see.
I can reheat it, throw it in the microwave, reheat some funny.
Some residual.
Funny residue.
But anyway, I saw you. Was it about a year ago over in what was the Caravan? Is that what still is
I
called?
believe it was the Comedy Caravan, then the Laughing Derby. Now I think it's back to the Caravan. Like
Okay.
just the Caravan.
But I saw him there on a bill with a few people and laughed my ass off.
Too kind.
Oh no, he was
Too
great. A
kind,
lot of good
friends.
people on that bill too, man.
Too
But
kind.
definitely shined there. But we don't get to see you much anymore. Let's get to that here in a second. But you kind of got your start over at the Caravan, right?
Yeah. That was probably about, I'd say, in around 8 to 9 years ago. It was I was a young pup of about 30, 31, 32 years old. Just a kid. But I got my start there. I venture there whenever I can, but the venue just isn't kind of what it used to be.
Right.
Years ago. Comedy around Louisville kind of isn't what it used to be.
Is that the one on over here?
Mid-City Mall,
Mid-City,
yeah.
Right.
Back then, I think that was a nationally recognized comedy club. With national acts in there.
Oh yeah, national acts. I'd say at least 2 to 3 national acts a month.
So
it
not
was
not a bad place to cut your teeth and stand up.
not by any means. That place, I'd say, in the first year, I got more gigs at more venues than I probably have in the past 3 to 4.
Really? So when you started 8 or 9 years ago, you took off like a rocket.
Yeah.
Played a lot of venues around town.
Yeah, everything from theaters to small bars. Even did a show at a place you all know called the Monkey Wrench, which was a total debauchery, but a great night in and of itself.
Right on.
Is that venue closed now? The Monkey
Yes.
Room? Yeah, it is closed.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
The owner is he took over Jimmy Can't Dance, and that's his place now.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jimmy can't dance. All right.
Must be a white guy, right?
Yeah, I would assume. Otherwise, it'd be like Demetrius can't dance, but you never know.
Right.
Or Demetrius can dance, I guess.
Right,
Demetrius
yeah.
can dance.
Damn.
Get down.
So I saw you. I think it was about a year ago. There. Have you been on stage since then, other than tonight?
I've been on stage maybe 2 or 3 times. There were some. issues that were keeping me out of the comic scene. And
Now, what could keep you out of the comics scene?
I tell you what, man.
Was it because you became less funny or what?
Oh no, the funny was still there. My energy was being drained due to some struggles that I'd gone through in life. Yeah, from people that know me or may not know me. Was in somewhat of an incident a couple years back, and make a long story short, still had a bullet in my chest.
Now, we saw that on social media.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Bullet in your chest.
Yeah, it was
and
actually...
you're walking around with that for like 2 years.
Well, it was apparently somewhere floating, like, up in my shoulder. I had an... yeah, I know, right? I had an entry wound in my neck where it entered, and it apparently was still in my shoulder somewhere. It apparently jostled loose about 7-8 months ago, and my body moved into my bronchial tube. Like into my right lung, so it had been sitting in there, like hanging out for about 8 months. Yeah.
Setting off metal detectors and shit.
I know, right? Yeah.
But when you say it was, did you know it was there, or did you kind of find out?
For a while, we believed it to be my doctor and I believed it to be like an allergy or maybe like some kind of like lung issue. But I got an X-ray done, and the woman asked me if I was wearing another necklace, and I'm standing there bare-chested. So I'm like, No, I'm not wearing another necklace. And she says, "Well, that's odd because there's something right there." And I look at the picture, and I'm like, "Oh God."
Could she feel it, or it was too?
Oh no, I could feel it. You could just see it in the X-ray.
No, but she couldn't feel it.
No,
that's what I'm saying. It was too deep.
Yeah, and she looked at the X-ray and she's like, "Well, you haven't been shot, have you?" And I was like, "Well, yeah."
As a matter of fact.
Well, as a matter of fact. And she said so flatly, "Oh, well, that's a bullet." Like just immediately, and I'm like, "Oh, great, got a 40 caliber bullet in my chest." Yeah. Yeah, imagine that. So needless to say, until that got sorted out, I wasn't exactly in the mood to be writing material and going up on stage. And it was funny because a couple months prior to finding out, I was on stage making jokes about being shot. And if you don't cry, you got to laugh at it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and people would always say, "Who shot you?" I would say, "Well, not another black person, so guess." You got two options. You got two options.
So
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, have you, at any time did you decide or was thinking that, I could get away from comedy and get into another profession where this situation has just taken my street cred level up,
It's a funny thing. I did, for a while, felt like my street cred went up because a lot of black cats who knew what happened would come up and be like, "Yeah, man, real niggas don't die." Well, you can say nigger on here, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I
We
just
don't,
put the
but you
ER
can
on
say
it. Okay.
with the A and ER.
Oh, okay. I
Just
think I just did both there unintentionally. Yeah. But it was funny. Cats would come up and I've never had a problem, feeling like I was part of the black community, but I did kind of have the feeling that sometimes when I left the room, some black cats would be like, "Stewart's cool, but I bet that nigga can swim real well. I bet he'd be backstroking, butterflying. Nigga can dive and shit." You know what I mean? So now
your name is Stewart.
I know, right? There's so much street cred in that. But you know what's odd, and I'm not trying to change the subject by any means, but in the past 2 years, I've met 2 black Stewarts. It's mind-blowing. It is mind-blowing. Both in and around my age. Oh, wow. I cannot make that up. But yeah, I do feel like a lot of cats now kind of see me a little bit differently. Yeah.
There must have been a cameo on Different Strokes or something. Arnold's friend.
His friend Stewart, and then it kind of just latched onto it. I will say this much when it comes to the whole street cred thing. As far as getting shot, I don't recommend it. Even for the street cred. Yeah, it's not really not a fair trade.
You don't need it for the street cred?
You don't?
No. I mean, if you have actual street cred, good for you, but don't get shot to try to get it.
Can I ask how many bullets penetrated your skin?
Technically, I would say 2.5 40 caliber bullets. I have entry wound in my back and an exit wound like from that over my left shoulder.
That was my next question.
And then
how many entry wounds were not in your front?
Yeah. Oh well, that would be all of them. My the bullet that came in me is behind my left jaw, and the bullet went through me is in my came through my back, and the other one kind of sliced a little bit through my ear. It's funny.
Red flag here. Red flag here.
I think it
Entry wound in the back.
Yes,
Right.
everything was rear orientated.
Right.
As I said, like a black man would have shot me, like in the front,
Point blank,
yeah,
right.
point blank.
Would have filled your ass up from the chest up.
Yeah, but giving the people that shot me, their reputation, they like to just shoot us any way they can. So, oh, gotta laugh. Gotta laugh, man.
They're like, run.
Yeah, please run.
Yeah.
It's more fun that way. one thing I will say when it comes to the whole police shooting black men.
He did say it. I didn't know he was going to say it, but he did say
I'll
it.
go ahead and say it. It's been implied. I hope you inferred. But it trips me out, with the incident that happened in the Waffle House with that young man and other mass shooters around the nation. They seem to be apprehended without any traumatic event happening, whereas black men can steal a cell phone or reach for one and they get shot 7
Or
times.
sit in a Starbucks. Or,
Yeah.
But that is real talk. I mean,
It is. This is real. We're laughing, but this is the
No,
world we
it
live
was
in.
incredibly serious. As I said, I laughed to avoid from it really affected me because it's a traumatic event. And
God.
when the young man was shot at 20 plus times, it hit, I believe it was 9 times 7 in the back, that was reaching for his cell phone in his grandmother's backyard. Mm-hmm. And then months later, a gentleman shoots people in a Waffle House and he's apprehended with a 9mm handgun and a backpack, and it's just no problem. It kind of makes you wonder. Makes you wonder.
I got to throw this out here because of the world we live in now, especially the United States. How much has our leader
Oh God.
enabled?
Oh God.
Not just.
Why are you going there?
Well, we don't have that segment, so I get to bring it up. I love talking.
segment.
I love talking trending national news, and Trump is always in politics,
Right.
seems to be. But we see this. I mean, you got people. Which I just read online where a black person was. Police were called because he was barbecuing in the park.
Right.
It's gotten this fucking.
Well,
Yeah.
my biggest thing is, especially when it comes to the Trump card. Oh, see what I did there? When it comes to the Trump card, is the fact that he makes things that much more divisive. The fact that he is, as commander-in-chief and the president of the United States, you're supposed to bring the nation together. And since day one, even before day one, during his campaign, he's done nothing but drive a stake, in between, I guess, white males and minorities of all kinds.
Well, I'm going to challenge you on this. Is that I think it's that the prejudice, the racial divide has always been there. He's
course.
enabling it.
Yes, without question.
Yeah.
When you hear the president of the United States refer to a Nazi rally and saying that there's good people on both sides, I'm sorry, I've never met a fine person that marches next to Nazis, and I'd be hard pressed to find one.
Do you have a Nazi joke?
Do I have a Nazi joke? No. I mean, that's not one I would like to say. It's kind of in poor taste, like Nazi jokes. I mean, you can say what you want to about Hitler, but he killed a hell of a lot of Jews, you know what I mean? That was terrible. God, your face, Eric. As soon as I said it, I was like, God, that
It's
shouldn't
like a world record.
That's like that incredibly anti-Semitic joke. I'm sorry,
I'm not.
my mother's Jewish. I'm
not laughing.
I'm allowed to make those
I'm
jokes.
not laughing at the jokes. I've known the guy for so long that when he gives me a look, I just start laughing at his
The
face.
joke was absolutely terrible. I love Jewish people. I'm Jewish.
Eric, you've known this guy for a while. At what point, Eric, I'm going to ask you, did something click that, this is a funny motherfucker?
It took a long time, actually.
Yeah, I'm not funny. I'm a very, very cynical human being.
But that's what I love about it, too.
But you turn that
Cynicism
into a laughing.
Yes, It's a way for you to be, a positive person and see like things through a positive light, I should say, rather than just being like Debbie Downer. You know what I mean? I'd like to see the glasses half full. You know, I'd like to.
Like that. Look at his beard. Like his beard.
Yes,
It's more than half full.
Yeah.
It's more than half full, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little over half full.
So definitely glad that you're back out on stage again today.
Hopefully tonight will be the first of like a somewhat of a comeback. I mentioned today that I was kind of like the herpes of Louisville stand-up comedy. Like you won't see me for about 6 or 7 months, and
we gearing up for another outbreak.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be like hellacious.
And we just,
StewAskew. That is a fucking great name.
and we can't get rid of him either. You know?
Yeah, I'm here for life, man. You got me.
No matter how much penicillin.
Yeah,
Wait, what?
you'll feel the fever,
It burns.
the blistering.
All the herpes jokes. All right. Well, let's definitely. I wanted to engage the Lip Nation here. Anytime you're looking at a bill where you see this guy, show up. The dude's funny.
Too kind, Erik McEwen.
Can we see real quick how much funny he's got left?
I mean, we're not gonna put him on the spot to do a bit.
No.
I did way too much of it sight
Really?
gags, man. If they can't see this pretty mug of mine, then you know. I would say that if someone were to happen to meet me in public, I'm not this guy on stage and on here. I'm kind of like King T'Challa, you know, but I'm much more warmonger, like in real life. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'm glad you all got the reference on that. Otherwise, it might have turned to ash and just blown away. You know. Yeah, I doubled down on the Marvel jokes there. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice. He is funny.
I love him, man.
Yeah.
Stuart, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Yeah, well,
man.
thank you guys for having me, Nate. Hopefully, it won't be the last time. I'll be around.
No,
I
'cause
mean,
Erik,
you
what-
have a carte blanche guest,
Yeah,
and
we-
now
you know,
I
we-
am
yeah,
extending
we-
this.
yeah,
Insert
Right.
the music in when we upload.
Yeah.
Stuart has carte blanche. You come on the show anytime you
I
want.
think
Appreciate
this
that,
is
mate.
what our show is missing is some comedy. You know,
Yeah.
because we start talking about that. You know, that Trump, the whole thing. That is a downer.
Oh, we can definitely talk Trump later.
Yeah.
But you know what? I mean, we need more because you're not funny.
I don't claim to be,
I'm not funny.
but we do kind of make each other laugh.
Okay,
You guys
don't
are
leave that
adorable.
We're Yanni and Laurel here.
Oh,
Right?
just adorable. Look at him.
All right.
Anyway, it's great. I like this guy.
All right. Well, you're definitely coming back
Yes.
anytime you want to. Thank you so much. You guys check him out around town. He's coming back like herpes, and we're really excited for it. From Baxter's 942 in the Highlands of Louisville, Kentucky, and worldwide on iTunes, Google Play, and iHeartRadio. This is Shooting from the Lip live, and this is a special happy birthday segment.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
The birthday boy.
Dude,
Rahul Borkar. How are you?
I'm good. How are
And
you?
happy birthday.
Hey, thank you very much.
He is.
Yeah. Did you see me? I sang happy birthday to him on the break.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we get a little sample of how that went?
No, because he ran away, and
No, I did-
I don't want to lose a guest for this.
I was crying because I got emotional.
Really? Oh, sweet.
Your voice is very beautiful.
Yeah. I think we need to turn him up a little bit.
I got it.
Yeah. All right. Rahul is one of my favorite cats in town.
He's the best.
He's, besides being a fucking talented musician, he is a genuinely sweet man, caring person. He's the guy that if I have something going on, I can reach out to him and he'll listen or fake it, but he listens. But he's a good guy.
Thank you.
And it is your birthday. You've got a lot going on
I do.
lately.
I do.
And you're here to promote something coming up?
Yeah, I mean, it's always, I guess the past 20 years or so, music's been an integral part of my life. Whether I was pushing super hard for it or doing it for fun, it was always there, and it was kind of my thing, and it wasn't like I had it to define myself or use it as my thing to tell people. It was just when I didn't have anything to do, that's what I wanted to do, and when I did have stuff to do, that's still what I wanted to do. But yeah, so I released a record last year, Music is My Medicine.
Love it.
And that was kind of like the stepping stone for the project, because it was the first time I'd started off as a solo artist, which is a little bit different in the rock world, because I play drums, guitar, bass and all that stuff. So I kind of started just on my own, just recording one song. One turned into two, and then it turned into an EP. And then all of a sudden, I did a show with Avant-Garde Dog. And then after that, it was an actual project. So that was that's kind of how this project started for me. And it's very personal to me. So I'm glad I'm still doing it.
We're glad you're still doing it too, because Music is My Medicine was awesome.
Thank you very much.
Still love that album.
Yeah, it's in my car. I'll listen to it. It is my medicine.
There you go.
Yeah, with you reminisce. You mentioned Avant-Garde Dog. Little shout out we give it. It's one of my favorite cats too, Kevin McCreary.
Yep.
You two were as tight as can be.
My brother.
And he helped with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He actually mastered that record, and he more than just helped, because he was kind of the guy that pushed me along as well to do it. Being like, yeah, man, just do it on your own. Just take your time with it, feel the emotion, and he's like, you can do this. And so, because I didn't, it was scary, doing a record again after not playing in a band for 3 years. But yeah, he really, really did give me that extra strength that I needed to get back into the music. So that's one of the many, many, many things I'm grateful to him for.
Well, you mentioned it's been 3 years or several years when you last played. Mm-hmm. One of the last projects you were part of was Breckenridge.
Yeah, that was.
Give us a little history on that.
Breckenridge was my first real band as a project, and I got in that band when I was 21, actually. So that was like a year and a half ago.
Because, I was gonna say,
right.
Yeah, two tops is what I was thinking.
I'm glad nobody laughed at that, because
you're 23
it's believable,
now.
right?
Yeah. I mean, they don't. If it's true, usually people don't laugh at truth, right?
There you go.
Well, considering the last segment, I might doubt you on that.
So the music business has changed quite a bit as far as for original artists. Back then, there were record deals being offered, and there were careers being made, and there's a lot of money in it. Kind of before the whole downloading thing really hurt record sales. And Breckenridge somehow, we had great songs, but I think we just really played our cards correctly, and then we were patient with a lot of people, so we got the right people with us, and we kind of played chess with it. And then right when we were going in for Checkmate, the industry pretty much collapsed. But we were an unsigned band that had a number 3 hit on Billboard, right with Linkin Park, and I forget, it was unreal. I think Van Halen came out with a single or something, and there were 4. It was wild. And we were in magazines, and it was just unheard of. And we had Universal. Record labels were calling my parents like recruits, trying to get them to influence me as far as what label to go with. And then once one label likes you, they all like you. So it was just a domino effect that we were just in over our heads. I was hanging out with the Eagles because their manager wanted us. Our attorney was. He was Kurt Cobain, or he is Kurt Cobain's, he handles his estate, the Dixie Chicks and all that stuff. But,
wow.
Yeah, the band, it was a very, very cool time in my life, and I'm very grateful for it, and I learned a whole lot about the business. And I could tell people what not to do for sure. Sometimes you gotta learn it that way. But it was a great time. No regrets for that, for sure.
So you say you learned a lot about the business. You learned a lot about it outside of the studio.
Right. Yes.
I assume, and especially if we go look at the Borkar thing, you learned a lot inside the studio too.
Yes, I sure did.
And is that all lessons that you took from the Breckenridge days?
Yeah. I'll say this: outside of the studio, more happens outside of the studio than it does in the studio, because there are a lot of great bands. It's what happens when you're finished with the product that really does make your career. you could have the greatest record in the world and not do anything with it, or you could have I'm sure you guys have heard a lot of crap records that do very well. But
more crap records now than I think
ever. It's because of the social media influence with one. To me, I deem a crappy song, but somehow resonates with a bunch of teeny boppers who blast.
Did you say teeny bopper?
Yeah, dude.
like small boppers.
Yeah, them
Like
too.
teeny.
Yeah, not tiny, but
Teeny.
and tiny and teeny.
Teeny
yeah.
boppers.
Yeah,
So, show coming up. What was that date? Sorry, I don't
June
have it in front of me.
16th,
June
yeah.
16th at the Diamond Pub Concert Hall, 630 Barrett Avenue.
Diamond.
Diamond.
Yeah, diamond. That's
Gotcha, Kevin.
I
Gotcha.
know. That's a pet peeve.
Oh.
Yeah, yours too, kind of right.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, I know. But anyway,
Who else is on the bill with
yeah.
you?
Yep.
All right, we've got a pretty awesome lineup. So Breckenridge is
Breckenridge is back?
We are getting together for the show, which is pretty awesome.
So tell us, is it? Are you playing with? Is it not a solo thing? So
It's the band.
it is the band. Okay,
yeah.
I kind of thought, but now you're
Pretty sure I
clarifying.
need to start training now because Borkar's it's our city release show, so releasing that full length. And for Heroes and Lovers, that's Andy Paul from In the Clear, his new project. And what's great about him, and he hadn't even rehearsed for the band yet. So when I asked him to do the show, he just said yes, and then he told the guys about it later. So,
Nice.
yeah, I'm really excited about that because he hasn't hit the stage in about 8 years or so.
Oh, wow.
So we've got a lot of the vets coming back from the original scene to
Vets.
kind of put a stamp on it, And I'm not a vet because I'm 23.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, what we talked about.
But we've got You're the Gun. That's Eddie Metal's band that's opening the show. And there's a new band called there's a new project with Jimmy Patrick. And they're actually releasing their record as well. So they'll be playing after Breckenridge to close out the night. But it's going to be a special night, that's for sure.
It's a big night for Louisville rock.
It is.
Definitely a big night. So 2 release shows, a Breckenridge reunion. I'm there.
We are there.
Yeah.
And I hope something happens with this show that kind of sparked when Avant-Garde Dog and Borkar played last year. One thing Kevin and I talked about, and we had a lot of other people come up to us that were in the cover bands. We've got so many talented musicians that they write great original songs, but they don't get to play them out like as for with the full band. So
I absolutely hate that.
I really, really want somehow the original rock scene in Louisville
We've
to
got to.
get strong again.
And how can we do
There's a lot
our
of talent
part
here, so yeah, I mean, there's no
without
reason.
shoving it down everyone's throats? But because we were there Saturday, for
Yeah,
an
for
original,
Blue Funk and Revelation,
and
yeah.
it's like.
Well, yeah, I play in a cover band called Speaker, and the 2 guitar players and singers in that band, they have an original act called Edgar Red, and they, in order to put their original music out there, Speaker's a great name for a band. There's no vowels, SPKR. I think it's great, but they are doing Edgar Red, and that's how they have to do it to get their original music out there. What are we looking at?
Yeah, I'm just someone saying they're not hearing us is what you can see that. Help us out there. But anyways, yeah. The music, I'm cool with the covers, and I respect bands who play covers, and they're fun to go hang out with your friends and listen to. But you want to dazzle me, I want to go and listen to original music and just get lost in that sound.
And June 16th, there's going to be a lot of it.
Yeah, yes, they are. So again,
You have a name for the show, too. I'm sorry. I
know I'm that annoying guy on Facebook that says make memories because
That's what it. Yeah.
in reality, I mean, with losing people in life, that's really what you have to keep you going because they're never gone because they got the memories there to make you smile. So, I always just try to reiterate that with people, just to take pictures and, show them off to everybody.
Making memory.
They tell stories.
That's a good thing about social media. Probably one of the few good things
Right.
about social media is that Take pictures of your friends and family. put
But
them up
like
there.
to like that weirdo dude down like that's on Facebook right now. Don't take pictures of that stuff because no, girls don't like that. So don't do that. Don't-
Is there really a girl out there who likes that stuff?
I don't think so.
There
Hey,
has to be.
the girl's right here, but
Yeah.
No.
Look at the.
I'm pretty sure no.
That is a reality TV moment down there.
No to the D. Geese.
Yeah.
They're not even listening to the show. They don't care. But
Yeah,
we
just-
do care about June 16th at Diamond Pub Concert Hall, 630 Barrett Avenue. Doors open at
I would probably say
Probably 7, yeah.
7.
And by the way, I actually have a third record that's starting on the. I'm going in to record that on the 28th. Actually.
Really?
So
You're busy.
Yeah, I'm trying, man. As long as I'm kicking, I'm gonna keep writing and recording. And so Kenny Olsen, who played guitar on the last record with me with the Three Doors Down Boys, he's actually gonna produce it, which is really, really awesome because it's one thing to be playing on the record, it's another thing to like be responsible for a record, which he's taking on. So yeah, we're gonna have him play, and then he's bringing in some pretty big names to record with me. So I'm pretty
Wow.
excited about that. Yeah.
Nice.
Very cool.
I'm glad to hear it. So tell us about the record that you're dropping on June 16th.
I started working on that before the first record came out. I just kept going, man, until it was one song, bam.
How many songs
It's
we
gonna
got?
be a 12 song,
12?
full length, yeah. And then I'm going in to cut 5 more with Kenny and Greg Upchurch and a few other guys that you'll recognize. Yeah, so it's pretty exciting, and I'm very blessed because I have no idea what I did to get these kind of guys to want to play with me. It's mind blowing.
It's because you're awesome, dude.
Paying forward, man. It's
Thank
called good karma. You spread a lot, and I think you're entitled to get some back.
That religion of like no assholism, it's a pretty great concept.
Yeah.
Just don't be a jerk, and then hopefully people aren't a jerk to you. It's as simple.
I would go to that church.
Yeah.
I would.
Life doesn't have to be so difficult.
And, Rahul, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much for
Happy
having me.
birthday.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, let's do this. Hey, guys. Hey, I need it. Mics are on. Happy birthday. Someone get it going. Happy birthday. I want the song. Sing the song real quick. Ready? All right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Leo. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much, everybody. I love you guys.
Much love, baby.
What are you drinking there, Chippy?
You'd be sorry you asked me to do this shit.
Are you drinking bourbon?
I am.
How about that?
How about that?
From Baxter's 942 in the Highlands of Louisville, Kentucky, and worldwide on iTunes, Google Play, and iHeartRadio. This is Shooting from the Lip Live. I'm Erik McEwen, Mr. Kevin Hale right next to me, and 2 of my buddies.
2 of our buddies.
Oh, yeah? Are you that lucky now?
Well, no, that's a good question. We'll have to get
We're
that
gonna find
answer.
out. Mr. Carl Stuck, Mr. Chip Abs. How are y'all doing?
Groovy.
Fantastic.
Outstanding.
Chip, you're just finishing up some teaching, right?
Yes. I was teaching how to make muffins.
Is that what they call it now?
Muffin making.
Stud muffins?
No, just muffins.
Just muffins. All right.
You have to add your own stud to the muffin.
Yeah. There we go.
I'm just going to leave that alone.
Leave it alone.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
We got that out of
These
it.
headphones
Carl,
messing up my hair.
Tonight is your off Tuesday night.
Tis.
And
It's hard for me not. I'm used to singing on a microphone, so it's hard for me not to get all up.
Please
in it.
tell him what to do.
yeah. So normally you're in St. Matthews. Not normally, but every other
Tuesday.
St. Matthews.
This is my Tuesday off.
Tuesday off, and we've taken advantage of these two cats. Erik, we got to hang out with Chip for a little bit Saturday night.
Yeah, the Blue Funk Show. It was great.
Amazing.
Great show. A lot of
What
fun.
a band.
Which I was sad that I missed.
What a band.
You were gigging.
I was gigging.
Yeah, but yeah,
I could talk about that band all night tonight. I mean, that's, there's hope. There's hope.
there is. But, You can talk about them as long as you want, as long as we talk about some other things as
This
well.
is your show. You just ask the questions, I'll answer.
Yeah.
So, Carl, you missed the show. You were playing Saturday night. Were you playing solo?
No, I was with Mary Mary on Saturday night. We did a private gig.
Cool. Love Mary Mary.
Great man.
Great band.
Very fun
Look
fun
who
guys
just
to play.
came in the background, man.
Look at that guy.
The cat drug in. Wow.
Mike Van Meter is so sexy.
Any though.
Yeah. Just wanted to say that.
So
Silver Fox is what I'm told.
Yeah, is that what it is?
That's what I'm.
So my first time I ever saw, I wasn't able to meet, but first time I ever saw Chip and Carl in a band called Strumbeat.
We still do that sometimes.
Yeah.
For real? Do you?
So that was my next question.
Okay.
Once in a while.
Once in a while, yeah. We all play in 6 other bands, so it's really hard. Strumbeat
is.
kind of took a back seat, but
did.
it's fun whenever we do it. We never rehearse, and we go a year without playing, and still sounds like crap. So give us a call, we'll play.
That's right.
It'd be nice.
We'll fake our way through it.
I'm trying to think the last few gigs I've seen these cats. Mary Mary, Brian Fox. Of course, the karaoke thing.
Yeah, every
What else?
Wednesday here in Baxter's 942, you see these two guys.
Every Wednesday.
Oh, we did that. Yeah.
Jinx, or is that how they say it?
Oh,
cute.
so cute.
Yeah. Is it? I gotta ask. What is that? Yanni and what's the other? Laurel.
Will you just drop it?
Did you all?
Was that a
get
TV show in the 70s or something?
No. Didn't you hear about that?
I did hear.
Yeah.
No.
I think it was someone trolling everyone because it was what Laurel. I mean, that's what everybody heard.
Oh, well.
Anyways.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but it sounds like some kind of social media.
Exactly right.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Monkey see, monkey do, and
Yeah.
somebody's, no, this is the way it is.
But it did get lots of hits and all that stuff, which is what social.
So what's going on with you guys right
Yeah.
now?
We're here
Living the dream.
hanging out with you, living the dream one nightmare at a time, baby.
Right on. I heard Carl on O'Reilly's show. Learned a lot about him. I learned a lot. Opened my eyes, man. You've been around a long time.
Hey.
Not saying you're old.
At least like 5 or 6 years.
You've been playing since you were like 2.
Yeah.
Right?
Banging the drums when you were 2.
I did start on the drums.
I think you told me that on a previous show. And why did you get away from drums?
Basically, I took drum lessons from this guy named Johnny Roy, who was like the local drum legend. He had his own shop called the Johnny Roy's Drum Shop. And I was real small. I was probably 7 years old or something like that. And I really wanted to play the drums, and my mom took me to lessons. And every time I was at the lesson, I fixated on he had brushes in the stick bag, and I always wanted the brushes. And I would always say, "Can I play with the brushes? Can I play with the brushes?" And he always said no. And eventually, he told my mom, "You're wasting your money." So she took me out of lessons, and that was that.
Wow, brutal.
Wow.
It's terrible.
Yeah, I thought that was the wrong way to handle that. I thought maybe give the 7-year-old the brushes, and maybe he becomes a good drummer.
I'm glad you're not a drummer, if that means anything.
I don't know how to take that exactly.
I started on drums too, really. Actually, that was my first instrument.
Really?
You trying to say I got no rhythm?
No, you got lots of rhythm. That's why I'm glad you play guitar. Rhythm. Rhythm's
See,
a lost thing.
So Chip, really, you started drums as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess singing
I didn't know
choir
that.
was probably
okay.
my first. When I was a little girl, I sang in the choir, and I sang pretty much every year through elementary school, and then. And then drums.
I got kicked out of my high school choir because I had long hair.
Really?
Really?
I think I've heard that story before.
Where'd you go to high school?
Ballard.
Ballard.
Really? That's where my kiddos went and still go. So, Ballard, back in the day.
Yes. My mom had my back. She called the local newspapers, and she called who did she call? I don't remember. Some organization that got involved. But she didn't want to traumatize me, so she dropped it.
No lawsuits or anything to that effect.
Now, they let me back in the choir because of my mother's efforts, but I was not allowed to perform live with the choir.
Really?
Because I didn't look right.
Whoa.
So they took a trip to Washington, D.C. to play at the White House, and they made no arrangements for me. I just had an extra hour with which to do whatever I wanted at lunch period.
So you stayed home.
I stayed home.
I didn't get
to go to Washington. I didn't get to sing. I agree. I thought it was pretty. And I went to public school. Just
The
putting that out
internet
there.
now would have a field day. That's wrong.
Oh, yeah.
With that.
Yeah. I mean, every attorney would be knocking on his door right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Come in.
Yeah, it hurt. It hurt.
Who is it?
All right. We love catching you guys on Wednesdays up here. It's always a blast.
It's fun.
It's crazy.
It is fun. It's crazy.
I've dropped in here,
Twice. Twice ever in your life.
Probably more. But here, it's been a handful of times, but the problem is it is just so nuts in here that
It does get a little
guy my age clearly is out of his element.
Clearly.
On a Wednesday night here, because it is kind of that college vibe night, right?
That's a melting pot. There's a little bit of everything here.
Okay.
Now I remember, I think it was the last time that I subbed for you. We were at Diamond, and Mr. Hill got up and sang a song.
I believe you are correct.
And there's a video out there. And
Was it?
It was.
Hold on, little girl, show me what you've done for me.
No, it wasn't.
Was that what it?
No,
that wasn't it.
Are you being funny or are you being serious?
No, I really thought that was it.
No, actually, I think it was the extreme.
I think it was
wholehearted. Yeah. We sang together.
Nice.
Which probably means you were flubbing up, and I was trying to save you.
Might have been,
Maybe.
All right. Thanks for
very much.
Because usually I try not to.
as all four wheels of the bus trample me.
And you did plush too.
Did I?
You did
we're
plush.
done.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going on 6 years here almost, right?
At this venue,
Yeah,
yes.
this venue. We're pushing 6 years. So it's been great. They make us feel at home here,
So it's
wonderful.
like 6 years every Wednesday.
every Wednesday,
Wednesday.
except for they like a
Thanksgiving
Christmas-
Eve.
Thanksgiving Eve.
Thanksgiving Eve we don't play, but other than that,
Wow.
Unless Christmas Eve lands on a Wednesday, then we don't do that either.
Or
But,
a holiday. Okay.
this has been a good run for us. This is
really
this is my favorite venue that we've done it.
It's fun.
Nice segue. We're here at Baxter's on our Tuesday night. Tomorrow night is the next FCK full contact karaoke night. One version.
It's a beautiful night, man. You guys been outside? I mean, it's just there's a breeze blowing. It's fantastic. It's great. Josh Logan has been setting in with us.
Who is the music act tonight?
He is a fantastic singer, a fantastic human being.
Amazing singer.
Just a lot of fun. We've gotten to be really close friends this last year, and we have a new project called 3.1. We're going to start doing here soon, and check it. Everybody knows who Josh is, but come see him. He's a great guy, a lot of fun. He's been setting in with us a little bit, sub for Carl while he was out of town on the music industry thing for ASCAP. So it's kind of nice, have somebody that fits the mold can come in, and it's fun, It's got a good groove.
So tomorrow, here at Baxter, the FCK band. Why is it not full karaoke, full contact karaoke? I'm going to keep asking this question
It's
until
anything you want it to be. It's anything you want it to be. It's fun. That's the most important thing. It's fun.
Is that what the F
actually
is standing for now?
Fun Carl Karaoke. That's what FCK stands for.
That's the new acronym. It's full Carl everything. He sings karaoke in his mom's hairbrush. That's how he got his start. He couldn't play with the brush stick, so he'd get his mom's hairbrush and sing, Judas Priest songs.
So could that be a fun chip karaoke too? Can y'all switch up?
I'm not worthy.
Okay. Well.
But I'm hopeful if I play my cards right, maybe another 6 years, we can do the full chip karaoke. I mean,
it's actually fruit chip. Fruit chip karaoke.
But the good news is tonight's show is shooting from the chip, right? We've been talking about this for about a year now.
Officially from the chip.
I don't want to apologize. I know you've been trying to get me to do this for a long time, and I just I never go out unless I'm playing really pretty much.
That's true. I've known this guy for a multitude of years, and I've seen him outside of playing like 3 times.
I started playing clubs when I was 14 years old. They'd sneak me in the back, and I'd sit there. And that's a long time ago. That was back in 19. And, it just... The band's got to be really good, or I got to be already out and about, or as my friends, I'll go see them once in a while. So yeah, but it's no offense. I support music in lots of ways, but I don't do.
So they either have to be really good or his friends.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
I'm sure they, coexist.
Well, it's like, a golfer doesn't want to go watch putt-putt. Maybe he does. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's something you do your whole life, and you love what you do, and you're grateful for it, but you really got to have some good reasons to...
But if your golfer friends were playing putt-putt, you would go.
Oh, hell yeah. I don't know anything about golf, but I'd go.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I've played putt-putt
Aim through
before.
that windmill that goes around.
I stink at putt-putt. It's hard, man. It's impossible.
So, all right, I'm trying to get something going here so that we've got the FCK band.
Now, is that real? I thought y'all were joking. Is this a real thing? FCK
band.
Oh, okay. Oh,
correct me if I'm wrong, guys.
I'll ask questions.
You guys are playing in a band called the FCK band.
Correct.
And while I'm going at this, there is also another band in town who actually has the name Full Contact Karaoke. Confirm or deny?
My attorney has advised me not to talk about this tonight.
Fair enough.
But in all fairness, the band in some form or fashion has been going on for 10 years. There was karaoke bands before this band ever started. There was one called Full Contact Karaoke before this ever started. It's been a lot of fun. It's been great to have a house gig and keep this ball rolling. It's seat of the pants. There's no judgmental. There's no expectations. We love getting people up and letting them rock out, and just maybe one of us knows a song. We'll fake it, and it's good enough. It's everybody in the band's a good enough musician where we can fake it and only hit 27 bad notes instead of 30. So, but I should let Carl answer some of that question.
27 apiece. 27 apiece.
All right, so
does that answer your question to a
kind of, sort of? Because I don't know, a month or so ago, when the last time I was here on a Wednesday night watching, you guys actually it was two of you. You two were here on a Wednesday night. The venue said Full Contact Karaoke, but tomorrow night it says FCK band. I'm just trying to get
It's just a what is it? Not an anagram. Acronym.
It's an acronym, and you can call it whatever you want. Full Carl, Full Chip Karaoke. You can call it Full Contact Karaoke.
Can you call it? Can the K be Kevin?
It could be
for cuties.
Kevin,
for cuties karaoke.
Kevin McCreary was one of the original members of the band, along with Mike Ingolstadt. I came in I think the second or third gig way back in the day, 10 years ago when it started, and it's nice because we all have other projects and other bands, and to have that middle of the week gig that we can count on, it's a big part. I'm not going to lie, it's a big part of my livelihood. To have and for a solo or duo to have a regular or bi-weekly gig, that's it's a pretty common thing these days. But for a band to actually have that go-to
every Wednesday,
and you're playing with guys that have been there by your side for 10 years, and
this is a really good band.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling.
I mean, he's been in a band with a record deal. Donnie's been in a band with a record deal. Multiple bands.
Who's the fourth? Who is
you
the
have
fourth?
Mike Ingolstadt. Mike Ingolstadt.
I call him Larry. Everybody gets nicknames. He's Larry Christmas.
And you have a publishing deal, right?
I do not. No.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
I have been in a band with a small record deal, but that was many moons ago.
You have a publishing company, though, right? Or no?
I self-publish my tunes, if that's what
through ASCAP? Mm-hmm. Okay, then I'm through BMI, so we can't play together anymore after this because my attorney and his attorney got together and we can't play, so we can only be within 5 feet.
It's funny. It's the second time he's mentioned attorneys during this segment
on stage.
What's an attorney?
What's an attorney? But no. ASCAP and BMI are both great PROs. In this day and age, guess what? It's hard enough to make a buck in the music. But it was 20 years ago, and now everybody's got got their paws in the money jar, and
getting better though. Music Modernization Act just passed.
Yep, that's
Congress. So.
I saw a flow chart, pie chart, whatever you would call it, online today. I was looking at it. It was talking about the ratios, percentage streaming, and just how pathetic those numbers really are for bands that were established 40, 30 years ago. As much as new artists today, and it's sad. It's really a shame that the people that actually created the music got paid for it, wouldn't it?
Well, here's an article that I saw. Actually, I wanted to ask you guys. I'm glad y'all brought up the whole publishing thing. Sony to become world's #1 music publisher with a EMI deal. What's that mean for us? Non-music.
EMI would be the distributor, right?
To be honest with you, I'm not really even sure what that means in this day and age because of the prevalence of streaming right now. Whether you like it or not, this world is going to a streaming world. Anybody younger than 30, it's rare to find somebody younger than 30 that buys a product. They're either on Spotify or Pandora or Apple Music or Deezer or one of the multitude of streaming services, or they just get it through YouTube or YouTube Red.
Well, help me understand this because I'm hearing from a musician standpoint. The musicians who put their music out there, the return, is not crazy. Good.
Well, to try to understand it, so like Carl was saying, it's changed so much over the years, and it's even gotten away from me a little bit, but I've been working with publishing companies for years. There's 3 major publishing rights organizations. It's ASCAP, BMI, and CSAC. Okay. And those are the guys who protect you and get you your royalties and track your plays and everything. Well, along came Napster and several other things like it, and it became virtually impossible for them to do those tracking formulas that they had done for years. And then there's co-publishing organizations like Warner Chappell. Sony Music got into publishing and everything. So they are more companies to where they're not a publishing rights organization. There's only 3. So, and then EMI as an umbrella, which I was caught up in a merger when I had a band called Eden Street, and we'd signed with A&M Records. And we'd gone to LA and made the record and finished the record. And Seagram's Universal bought Polygram, that whole umbrella. So any label, I believe, our label was A&M, I think Geffen, and a couple other labels were under that. So all that came to a screeching halt. And those big mergers were a big beginning of the end, as we like to call it. It was called Black Thursday in Rolling Stone magazine, where the greed and the pub, everybody wanted their paws in the money jar. So it became this company was buying this company, and everybody was making a percentage. So a publishing deal is basically different than Logan's in there. We're going to tell him to turn down. I'm going to call my attorney. But he's...
your attorney's on speed dial.
But... every recording contract, then you hear stories about, it's the Kip Winger, right? What was Winger with his band? I saw a thing on him where they'd lost all their publishing, and a lot of guys were signing back in those days without keeping any of their publishing. Well, that's basically your rights to your songs. No different than Michael Jackson having the Beatles catalog for years and years and years till McCartney could get it back. That's mailbox money, as it's called. It rolls in. Now, what exactly is going on with Sony and EMI, other than greed? I have no idea.
So $2.3 billion.
Yeah.
Black Thursday, was that right around the time that all those 360 deals started happening?
Black Thursday would have been...
That's when we started seeing more prevalence of it, when Korn and all that took off, and they initiated that 360 deal where these labels are taking from the live shows everything, part of everything.
Yeah, trying to get in on the merge and all that.
Yeah. And again, there was a starting point for recording contracts, but there never was anything. And of course, the record company is a bank, and they were trying to get as much of the publishing that they could. And so some of these guys, I want to be a rock star. I'll just give the record label all my publishing, and the next thing you know, they're broke.
And frankly, that all started with the whole Napster thing, because Napster made it so easy to get free music that the record companies panicked, and instead of trying to figure out a way to monetize what Napster was doing, instead they tried to take the other tack and attack that thinking they could win when it was. I mean, the genie was out of the bottle by that time.
Is Metallica still fighting Napster?
I think they won that battle, you know. And then we could go back to the sampling issues, you know, where lawsuits were being filed over that. And
we could go all the way back to Motown when all those guys that wrote those songs, none of those guys got paid.
Yeah, the session musicians, the Funk Brothers, you know. There's a million.
There's always somebody trying to take
more than their share,
the artist's money, and say, "Hey, let me help you out." And there's value to all the different levels of making the art, but.
Speaking of taking more than your share, I'm take you to task here, Chip. When you post the full contact or the FCK band gigs, you have some verbiage in there that got a lot of people's attention because some of those people have brought it to my attention because they seem to think. And actually, I'm kind of flattered that we would know what is up here. You know what I'm getting at?
It's a beautiful night outside, man. I can't wait to get outside and open a bottle of wine and put something on the grill. It's, I think that, you know, everybody has a right to do what they want to do. The reason that you play music, whether it's a hobby or semi-pro or you do it for a living or whatever, and everyone deserves a fair share, and I'm adamant about that. Podster. And in the nicest way possible. I think that everybody should stand up and say, hey, whatever band you play in should get an equal. Now, if you're, you know, look at somebody like Cam Fleener, who has built an amazing business out of. I was in that band for a year, and I'd get mad at him in the hotel room. He was staying up all night working and making phone calls, and you know, keeping the band booked 3 to 4 nights a week all year long. Damn right, he deserves an extra, you know, share. You own a huge PA system or a truck or whatever. So there are exceptions to the rule, and I think that I like to see, being a music teacher and the background I've had in the professional industry, just see everybody. But there's a lot of good musicians here. There's a lot of good bands. They all do it for their own reasons. There's nothing wrong with that. I've been doing this a long time, and I've been fortunate to do some cool things. And I'll be the first one to give somebody some extra if I feel they deserve it. And you know, if you can't agree, you have to agree to disagree, and you have to go your separate ways. I'm a nice guy, but I'm brutally honest. You know, I don't really sugarcoat things, and I wish everyone involved the best, and who knows, maybe we can all work together to some degree at some point again someday. But when you got 10 years into something that you rely on, you know, and you have fun with, and you need that income, and you've put the mileage in, you've carried the gear, you've dealt with you guys had a segment on, you know, dealing with intoxicated, you know, all that stuff. That's part of the gig. You're going to get that, anything. But I think that it's important that everybody's treated fairly. You know, if you play in my band, you're going to get an equal share divided on how many people are in that band, and everybody sees these things differently. So that was the point I was trying to make. I do speak my mind and sometimes put my foot in my mouth, but I do, you know, I love all these guys and go way back with some of them, years and years and years, and we've had a lot of good times together and helped each other out in many different ways. So I believe that there's always look for the good, and there's good things to come out. But after thousands and thousands of gigs, and I don't need a babysitter, and I don't need. If I'm working for a major label artist and I'm getting paid as a side man, and he tells me to wear a purple shirt and one red shoe and one green shoe and play and drop D, that's exactly what I'm going to do. You know, so
is that like a?
Don't worry about it. Well, I'll tell you later.
You don't want to know.
How about them Cubbies, Erik?
So, but I mean, yeah, seriously, and I know I get a lot of texts and emails about what's going on, and I want everybody to support what everybody's doing. You know, let's keep this going, because live music in Louisville, Kentucky is a very important thing. Whether it's covers or originals, we've always had a great scene, and let's everybody keep pulling pulling together like we did, all these amazing benefits that we have, and do the best with what we got, right?
Yeah.
Can I borrow $10?
Yes.
$10.
Yeah.
I could use $10.
Is it shot time yet?
It is.
And I'll let Carl embellish that in any way he wants to. But Carl and I, like I said, we've been playing music together for so long.
How dare you? He just said he hasn't been playing long.
Not very long.
Well, he hasn't.
6 or 7 years.
Playing music or playing?
Give or take.
Never mind.
Throw a little curveball at you here. The whole elf name Mo thing. I know we're.
Wow, it is almost July. We got Christmas in July. So.
Yeah, but that was we haven't had a chance to talk about it on the show, but that is such a cool project for you.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, I've enjoyed it. I actually was working on it today, but I swear to God.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
I sent an email to one of the guys at ASCAP, as a matter of fact, about ways to promote my Christmas song.
I gave you a storyline for the sequel. Remember that? I sent you a message. Do you remember that storyline?
No comment.
No. What is it? Between no comments and talking to their attorneys.
I will have to say I've had at least 4 people give me storylines for the sequel.
Mine's better.
Is there a sequel?
Mine's better.
I've got to get this one finished first. I'm actually trying to work on a cartoon video.
What do you mean you try to get this one? The song's finished.
The song's done.
Yeah, but when you say finished, what?
I'm actually working on a cartoon video.
Okay.
Like music video length, like 3-minute video.
Gotcha.
Because I sure can't afford a 30-minute video.
I don't really care about the song one way or the other. I just want some of the publishing.
See how it goes back around?
We're gonna
back around.
Well, here's what we're gonna do.
360 deal.
I'm gonna co-publish it with him. He's gonna do it through ASCAP and BMI. Then we'll have 2 sets of cheerleaders working for us, right? And I'm thinking.
And a podcast to help, promote it.
There we go. I like
we have to
promotion.
get our cut too.
And it says I came up with a story. What do you think?
See, this is how it starts.
5%?
This is how it starts.
Can I have 5%, Carly?
That's why I never got anybody else involved. I'm just going to do all this crap myself.
Fine, I'll do a solo Christmas album then. I'll do a reindeer named Jeff.
I was always a fan of Blitzen.
Blitzen?
Yeah.
Man, listen to that guy singing in there. I think we should go sit in there and just take these mics and put them in front of him. And
Guys, I really appreciate y'all showing up, hanging out with us.
2 of my fave cats.
A lot of fun. Yeah.
Love these guys.
Kevin, you have anything? Are you going to taunt them or prod and poke anymore? Are you done?
I'm taking. I'm done with the I'm out of interview mode right now. We can.
And I want to say, I've said this before when I did it back with Kamek, you had Avant-Garde Dog back when we were doing it on telephones, which was quite awkward. I was sitting in the parking lot of Meijer.
It's much harder to do on a telephone.
With no pants on. I was sitting in the parking lot of Meijer in my boxers with a bag of carrots, and I was
That wasn't a carrot.
working around the delay.
It was a carrot, not a.
It was a carrot and some ranch, and it was. But no, I appreciate what you guys do. Even though I never listen, I really don't unless I'm on it. But I appreciate what you do.
Well, don't listen.
I listen to every episode.
Yeah.
He does.
Every episode.
He's out in his car. He's like Mr. Podcast. He's like, man, I gotta go. There's a podcast I need to listen to in the car. I'll be right back.
Oh,
We're
my
everywhere.
God.
I really
Like
like
5 days a week podcast. It's like having a second job.
It is.
And I do it because I'm still waiting for the paycheck.
Exactly. Yeah.
So are you? Is that what you said?
Well, I
Paycheck.
paid you guys in Jaeger bombs. So
We are getting paid for
I do
this,
appreciate that.
right? Where's my check?
How about you shot a Jaeger earlier?
Is that all I get?
The night's still young.
There you go.
As he takes his headphones off, I was like, yeah.
And Eric, I want to say thanks to you for subbing for me
I was going to say,
FCK when
Eric's kind of been a.
He's done it.
He's a player
and the big shoes to fill, and
It's not an easy gig to do because we
really
don't. It's
tried.
like a normal gig when you sub for somebody at a normal gig. Typically, you'll get a song list and you'll say these 30 songs are what we're going to do. But in this gig, we can give you a song list of 40 songs or 50 songs, and we might do like 20 of those songs and then 80 of the other ones that we didn't give you.
I don't know. Does this mean now Eric has his your sub thing is now gone? Is now 2 times? You have 2 options here, or is this
Stop.
Whoa,
Stop it.
jeez.
Stop it.
In all seriousness, I do appreciate what you guys do, and I thank you for it.
And Chip, thank you for subbing me out. And anytime you need somebody, I'm more than happy to.
Of all the bass players I know, you're one of them.
Thank you so much. And it means the world to me that I can be a bass player.
Chip Adams, Carl Stuck.
Man, I love these
Guys with the hair. I got to ask real quick. Hair products. What's the go-to? Help us out.
I use shampoo and occasionally conditioner.
Yeah.
My attorney says I can't say it. I use potion number 9. If I don't put potion number 9 on this mop, it is a frizz curl factory. I mean, it's not even something you want to see in a bad movie.
And don't ask him what potion number 9 is.
Not doing it at all.
I have to use the generic potion number 9 because I'm a starving
That's
musician,
why you
but
were at Meyer that one time, right?
Well,
All
I
right.
admire every day.
All right.
It has been a pleasure, gentlemen. Thank you so much. I love you guys.
Carrots.
It's been definitely a great
Ranch
segment with
dressing.
you. Thank you for stopping in. And this has been Shooting from the Lip live at Baxter's 942. We'll be back momentarily.
Take your pants off.